Nickel, nickel, nine. Yeah. 5-9J, let's go. Yeah. For all my haters out there. Suckers.
Hey, yo, what's good with everybody, man? I hope everybody's having a productive day. Feeling the blessing like I always say. It's one life, one chance. We only got one chance to do this right. Let's get it done. With that being said, man, that Chito Rana's video is going crazy, boy. That was topic of discussion. I could have literally said, hey, man, I video footage of Chito poking his picking his nose. He got a cliffhanger. He'll probably still get views. So I appreciate it. I appreciate the support. I appreciate everybody tuning in. Thank you guys for, leaving comments, helping me with the algorithm. It means a lot to me. So let's get into this video. With that being said, hit that subscribe button, hit that like, always leave a comment. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Check the links in the description for the Apple and Spotify music. Run my streams up for Tales from the Hood, man. That's all I ever ask. And every other song that you like, man. Thank you for checking out my catalog and being here for your support. After the Goshen massacre and everything that took place, and all the speculations that came out, a lot of people criticized me because they were like, you're speaking about the cartels and you're speaking about like it was a hit between the North and South, that it wasn't cartels involvement. But you got to remember, if you really look up a lot of the information in the press releases and what the officers said, a lot of them identified it being cartel related. A lot of them identified that Tulare County in the Central Valley has been a home front and startup for a lot of the cartel moves. So, I'm just taking whatever I research. I don't do hours and hours of research. I just read a couple of articles, see what I can find, get the basics, and then, just create a story behind it. So this took place the other day. And my boy is actually that shot me the article is in the streets of Sacramento. And he tells me that, the drug epidemic out there in the streets of Sacramento, everybody's after $1. Everybody's trying to get rich. Everybody got a sack to serve. Nice to go out there and do my videos in the streets of Sacramento, and trust me, I've been out there and the dudes were flamboyant with it. You'll know, you can tell the difference between a dude that's at a gas station just posted up and he's homeless to a dude that's standing at that gas station on that corner store just waiting for a knock, waiting for somebody to bump a sack. So local news, breaking news: 3 individuals got arrested in Tulare County after 1,000. Not a couple, 1,000 pounds of meth was confiscated during this operation. This was a 9-month investigation that took place in the city of Tulare. That's my hometown. I be out there a lot. I go out there to do my shopping, go to the movies. Sometimes things are just done in plain sight. You never really know it. It's a very small city. It's a beautiful city. If you look around, you really couldn't tell. You go to the east, you go to the west. You really can't tell unless you know the neighborhood. It's like a different criminal underworld you have to be a part of or know that exists, know that it's there for you to actually see what's really transpiring behind closed doors or behind closed curtains. But it was the Sacramento County Sheriff's Office who linked up with the Tulare County Department, the Tulare County Sheriffs, because they were conducting a 9-month investigation because the streets of Sacramento were getting flooded with that yarra, with that kri-kri, is that an FBI agent in a trash can? Kind of drug. Everybody's still indulging in meth. That's just a high. That's a cheap high, but it's a great rush. I'm pretty sure it has a lot to do with that little zombie thing that's going on where everybody's just itching and scratching. But both law enforcement agencies conducted searches at 5 different locations in the area of Tulare County, right here in the 559. Not Fresno, not anywhere else. In the Tulare County, in the area where a lot of people are my fans, a lot of my subscribers, including my family, are located. And confiscated 1,000 pounds of methamphetamine, already wrapped, ready to go, and 4,000 pounds of liquid meth. Now, I don't know what liquid meth is, but I've seen nautical land. I see, they do liquefy the drug and put it in whatever it is they're going to put it in. Obviously they had that big bust, and they're talking about how the cartels are moving dope from the border through avocados. And I've seen them stuffing them in dead sharks. And man, these dudes are crafty. It's like they sit in the lab all tweaked out off the fumes. Like, how we going to get this millions of kilos or these tons of kilos across that fence? Talk about ambition, bro. If there's a way to get it, they can think it. Those are some incredible thinkers. I got to give them credit for that. But even during this investigation, 40 guns were confiscated, which, I would think there'd be more based on you're trying to protect that amount of money. We're talking about a street value probably in the millions. And 40 guns? I'm pretty sure you got more than 40 people when it comes to manpower to move all this stuff and secure this shipment. But yeah, 40 guns were confiscated along with $50,000 in cash. In cash. Bro, I can't wait for the day one of my YouTube videos does a $50,000 video views and all that crazy stuff. And I know there's a dude, all he talks about is like do it yourself, like how to do a YouTube video with a iPad Pro and a lens, or how to do a video with a smartphone for short films. And one of his videos in 1 month, that video alone got $14,000 because he had like 500 or some thousand views, and it still goes up. That dude showed his yearly net worth for YouTube was in the millions, bro. I was like, oh man, if I could be that successful, I'll just keep having, give the other half back to the audience, give the other half back to the subscribers. Like, here, bro, you guys bless me. Throw my everybody shoots their cash apps is getting $50. That fool was balling, and he does that every year, and he's been doing it for 4 years. But anyways, off topic. They said that drugs made it across the way from the border, ended up in Tulare County to be broken up, whatever it is they do in the lab, and all that saran wrap they bought from all the grocery markets. That's probably where we were out of stock on saran wrap or whatever the other house they used to wrap. And they were having it ready for distribution to the streets of Sacramento. Why specifically Sacramento? Who knows? Because you guys know these guys operate with a big network. They're in multiple states. They got a lot of states sold up from the flow up. All that alone was being distributed to the streets of Sacramento. And I've been to Sacramento. Sacramento's pretty big. But damn, 1,000 pounds of methamphetamine in the streets of Sacramento. Is there that many people out there twacked out? Like, no wonder that city don't sleep, man. That's like a baby New York, bro. Every time when I went out there, and it'll be at nighttime, I'll be like, bro, why is the highway full at 2 in the morning or 3 in the morning? Why is there 19 people standing by this street post by the next to this gas station that shut down at 12 o'clock, and they're all just partying away, having a great time? If I'm not mistaken, I think the homie was like, hey, bro, this is Sally Rue's hood. I don't know what hood it was, but it was like Sally Rue's hood, because we were doing a music video like in a parking lot by a baseball stadium or like a high school baseball stadium, and we seen a gang of cars out there 2 or 3 in the morning, hella thugs, and they were out there just like, and homie's like, bro, it's a dangerous hood right here. This is Sally Rue's hood. And I was like, I don't know where Sally Rue's from. I slap his music though. But these are the 3 names. I had to write these names down for you guys. We're talking about 35-year-old Armando Gonzalez of Tulare, 39-year-old Carlos Babosia of Tulare, and 37-year-old Regelio Flores of Jalisco, Mexico. So we're talking about an actual member that actually is from the state of Jalisco, the country of Mexico, that's over here. So you're more likely he's probably the one with the connect, with all the connects, the pipeline, the sources. And trust me, I do understand that this is a delicate topic, but it's already news, it's public information. But that's my message to the youth out there, man. You were talking about a city where I was born and raised in. And trust me, I know a lot of my homies out there, like my boy 50, Mike Soto. I know he was well connected. I know some of the big homies out here that I was working for back in the day are well connected. I know some of the carnales out here now that are well connected. I get it. Drugs is a source of income. That's production and revenue right there. Well, you got to also remember, like I said in the beginning of this video, a lot of things are done in plain sight, but people don't pay attention to it because we all live a normal life. A lot of regular civilians that don't want to be a part of this lifestyle, don't want to know about the lifestyle, want to stay as far away if they possibly can from this lifestyle. It's all taking place. For the longest that can be described, Central Valley of the Valle has always been the homeland of mafiosos, whether it's the NA, whether it's the Mexican Mafia back in the day planting their seed out here and establishing grounds to the carteles. And they're not biased on territorial grounds. They're really not. And we're talking about 1,000 pounds of methamphetamine that can get in the hands of kids if this was to continue. Because we know we got a lot of youngsters we got a lot of youngsters out here that's really gonna indulge in this kind of substance. Because trust me, I was 13, 14 years old getting tweaked out. A 13, 14-year-old, for that matter, much less under 18, should not be in possession of these drugs and are indulging in these kind of drugs. We're talking about teenage years where the mind's still growing, the body's still developing. Bad choices are gonna be made regardless if we raise our kids properly. Because my mom was a good mom, but I still made the bad choices. I still turned to that dope. I still turned to that pipe. A lot of these kids are not going to know how addicting that pipe is and that substance is until it's already too late. If you look on Tales from the Hood on YouTube, or Tales from the Streets, you're gonna see he goes around interviewing a lot of drug addicts that are still hooked in their late 20s, early 30s, that have all self-admitted that they started when they were younger. The choice to develop a bad habit is gonna start at a young age. It's not gonna start really as an adult. And once that drug gets a hold of your mind frame, there's not a lot of willpower for a young kid, boy or girl, to have to stop him from actually becoming an addictive person, becoming addicted to these drugs. So, like I said, 1,000 pounds, whether it was going to be distributed in Tulare County or in Sacramento. We're talking about every single one of my subscribers has family from somewhere. I got subscribers from the streets of Sacramento. This drug's going to have an adverse effect on society as it always has been since the beginning when it first touched down. Look at the history of what methamphetamine really came from. They were using it for the world wars to keep their soldiers up for weeks. That way they didn't have to supply them with food and water. Why? Just give him like 10 grams, have him swallow it. He'll be up for 4 days. He ain't worried about food and water and being hydrated. They were using this drug for the war that took place. I'm not sure which one it was, man. I know it had to do with either Japan or somebody else, or the Korean War. But these airplane dudes were doing kamikazes because it was so tweaked out, weren't able to think, and just sacrificing their bodies for the sake of their homeland, to win a war. That substance is very powerful. It's very strong. And I haven't even talked about my drug addiction on my YouTube. A lot of people have always been inquiring about it. Because when you're a recovering addict, and I will admit that I used to be an addict, the thing about it is thinking about it or talking about it, I open up that door in my brain where I might relapse. So I've always been afraid to talk about it. Eventually, I will talk about it and cover the aspects and have great positive messages ready for the youth and what can take place and what can go wrong. But even if that 1,000 pounds of meth and whatever else that was confiscated reaches even the older adults, we're talking about individuals who lived a gang life, who were out there in the streets every day, clutching on a pistol, looking for an enemy. Now, if you were on a sober tip and you weren't looking for an enemy, oh man, baby girl from Sacramento looking fine, bro. She's thicky, icky. I'm gonna take this to the hotel. Oh, but he spun out though and just seen an enemy walk past him. That drug's gonna alter that man's mind. Next thing you know, 2 or 3 in the morning while everybody's asleep, you got a carload deep, 4 or 5 people in all black, black Air Force One activities, shooting up a bunch of people over street signs and gang colors and gang symbols. Because they're addicted to the drug. Because the drug's once you develop a thought in your head, that pipe, that drug, that crystal meth is gonna enhance it 10 times more. So if you're thinking about, man, I can't wait to catch this fool slipping, then you smoke like 5 bowls. Now you really want to catch him sleeping to the point you take the initiative to go and do it. That's how powerful that drug is. Now, if you use that same mentality and be like, man, baby girl got yeeks for days, bro. I'm trying to knock the blonde out of her hair. What's good? What's good, Snow Bunny? And then you hit the pipe like, bro, I'm going to tear this up, bro. She ain't going to have no feeling in her body when I'm done. Her nervous system will be shut down. She will be permanently blind. She will be temporarily blind because she's going to be like this with her eyes rolled back. Yeah, you'll do that. You'll put it down. So you might as well use it for a positive resource than a negative one. I'd rather be just in bed with her than in that car with you, sliding on them. Forget that. I weigh out my options. I'll take coochie over a foolie any day. Any day. Women was God's gift to men, so forget that. You can go ahead and have this. I'll be with her. But overall, like I said, this was a big bust. A lot of drugs got taken off the streets, but we all know that this is not going to continue to stop. They're going to continue to make their revenue. They're going to continue to find these homelands and find these towns, set up shop, operate. And the streets of California are going to deal with a big drug war. But we all know the United States has always been a drug war. I heard her saying the other day, and it was funny, if Trump really built that wall to stop the drugs and the immigrants from coming in, that we wouldn't have to worry about the cartels actually trying to get over that wall. That the American people will be the ones breaking down that wall just to get their drug supply. And it was pretty much a message saying that, the supply and demand from the United States and the American people that rely on these drugs and everybody that's selling these drugs, the cartels ain't got to do nothing. The country of Mexico ain't got to do nothing. It's the people that's going to be the ones making sure we get these drugs back into this country. So that little saying, that little joke that I read, it kind of hit home. It made you understand things from a different perspective. Like in harsh reality, all this war on drugs that all the politicians promote, we get it. They don't want to see it in our system, but we all know the conspiracy behind it. That the American government helped Mexico, has helped the cartel, the CIA. Trust me, I've been down that rabbit hole. And the sad reality is the drugs are going to continue to be in the streets because the people on the streets are going to continue to demand them. So I don't know how far my message is going to reach, and I can just only hope that, as adults, everybody's going to make their decisions of what they want to do and what they want to indulge in. You want to throw your life away? Yeah, but let's try to make sure that you don't do it. At least at least give them the chance to live first. They choose to wreck their life in the long run, that's on them. But when they're young, they don't fully understand, they fully can't grasp the realities of life. So let's not be those individuals when we try to feed them that pipe dream, but instead feed them an American dream, a good dream, and that's like they could become something other than a drug addict. So with that being said, like I always say, it's one life, one chance. We only got one chance to do this right. Let's get it done. Peace.